Come on in, everybody. We'll wait for a few people to get in here today. Listen to some music. I'm really excited about our Queen series. You guys fix my crown. And I've got some beautiful feedback from you guys. So I'm super excited about it. About coming on and helping you ladies overcome some issues that has you stuck. It has your crown kind of cocked to the side, or maybe some of you guys are just now learning to put on your crown. And when I say put on your crown, I mean begin to embrace who you are and allow yourself, give yourself permission to take your power back and become who you were created to become. Not settling out of court, not settling into a comfort zone, not allowing yourself to give in to the external chatter of who people say you should be, but embrace who your creator says you should be, right? It's like I was born with a purpose. I wasn't born out here. I wasn't created to settle. I wasn't created not to become who I'm supposed to be. That's not why I was created. I wasn't created to be unhappy. I wasn't created to be depressed. I wasn't created to be anxiety driven. I wasn't created for that. That's not what I was created for. I wasn't created to live a boundaryless life. I wasn't created to allow people to step all over me. I wasn't created to people please. I wasn't created to be a hero, be everybody's hero. That's not why I was created. I was created to fulfill a purpose in my life. I was created to prosper. I was created to win. I was created to be happy. I was created to be a solution in this earth. I was created to know my worth. I was created to be a virtuous woman. I was created to embrace my creator, have a relationship with him, and know what it is that I'm supposed to do. I was created to win in every area of my life. I was created for that. And anything that doesn't seem to that, I got to get it together. I got to get it together. I may have to shut doors to some relationship, whatever, but I got to walk into who I was created to be. So Fix My Crown addresses certain issues that keep you from embracing your true purpose, that causes you to recycle relationships, recycle situations, unhealthy, unproductive, dream snatching situations that cause you to stay stuck. Fix My Crown helps you not to have to beg for approval, not to have to be a slave to validation. A slave to validation. Today we're going to talk about overcoming the fears that hold you back, overcoming the fears that cause you to settle, overcoming those fears of failure, overcoming those fears of even success. What happens if I become successful and I can't stay successful, right? Overcoming the fears of intimacy, overcoming your insecurities, overcoming the fears that somebody's going to walk away from you, overcoming the fears of who you think you are not. I am not enough, so I'll fail. I am not enough, so I don't know how to stay successful. I am not enough, so that I settle in unproductive relationships. I am not enough, so I let somebody talk to me like I don't deserve to be talked to. I am not enough, so I sleep around with a lot of people. I'm not enough. Whatever that I am not enough is causing you to do, whatever fears that make your decisions, that cause you to be shameful, that cause you to have a spirit of regret, fears, depressed. Those fears that cause you to be depressed, those fears that cause torment, that sinks in your mind and you allow it. Fears that make you want to hide because you don't think you're worthy enough. So you go hide in a shell somewhere. Fear that won't let you show up to that thing that keeps popping up every now and then, like I want to be there, I want to go there too. But fear won't let you go because it's making your choice to stay in a comfort zone. I'm going to stay comfortable. Sweetheart, people who stay comfortable never see true happiness. It's a system that you can put in place to overcome your fears. And so today, Queen, I want to teach you that, because a woman who knows her worth, who knows who she is, she sits tall and she wears her crown and she has presence. We talked about presence in our initial Fix My Crown 3-day crash course. We talked about presence. A woman who overcomes her fears has presence. She shows up and people know who she is. And it's okay. And listen, this is the thing. Some of us have to build to that. We're not there just yet, right? We're not there yet. So we're in different areas of our lives. For some people, they're good. They can walk into a room and dominate the room. But when they go home, that is where they're stuck. Fear will make you hate on other people. Fear makes you do that. Fear make you put somebody else down. Fear make you gossip. Fear make you into a toxic leader, a toxic wife, a toxic girlfriend, a toxic mother, controlling and full of pride. Some of you queens are dealing with pride issues. I'm supposed to look like I want this look to stay, and I don't want nobody to help me. I can't accept constructive criticism, because criticism or going to somebody seeking help means I'm not enough. It means I don't know what I'm supposed to know. It makes me look bad, and I'm scared that people are going to say she's not all that. So I can't go get help because I don't want to not be all that. I fought not to be not all that. I'm working myself into a grave to prove to people that I am somebody. See, there's that fear, the fear that drives you to, down can say drives you to become successful, but drives you to do and ignore your pain. Ignore your pain. Man, you just don't know how many times fear has caused me to sit down, and I had to learn to overcome fear in different areas so I can stand up and be who I am called to be, no matter what. The fears of ain't nobody gonna look at this, or the fear ain't nobody gonna buy my book, or the fear, and the truth, that was just so far from the truth. But even if so, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And that fear will hold you back if you let it. All of these fears boil down to one big fear. I think is a controlling factor, and it makes our decisions. It's the fear of who I am not. The fear of not enough. The fear of not enough. So we're going to talk about that today, you guys. So I believe that the fear of not enough is actually the root of all the other fears. We fear we'll fail because we're not enough. We fear we'll lose our relationships because we're not enough. We fear that we'll be abandoned and rejected because we are not good enough. We fear intimacy for the very same reason. We fear that we may get rejected because we're not good enough. And the fear, even the fear of success, is based on a worry that we are not good enough. Let me tell you, I'm going to give you a few steps, and we're not going to be long tonight. I just want to give you a few steps really quickly. The first thing we have to do in putting a system in place to deal with our fears, one of the first things we have to do is really acknowledge the fact that that you're being controlled by fears. So you have to acknowledge your fear. What am I scared of? For me, and for a lot of people, is the fear of not being validated, the fear of failing, the fear of not being perfect. Not being perfect, the fear of humiliation. I didn't want to be shamed no more. I had to acknowledge my fears. And that was a big step for me, because really sitting down, especially when those times come and you really find yourself procrastinating over something, like, I'm supposed to do this, I'm supposed to do that. I'm going to tell y'all, let me be transparent. I'm going to be transparent. Can I be transparent, y'all? Because I need to be transparent. And so because I've been through a lot of trauma, I didn't really love me like that. And I wasn't big on taking care of me like that. And the more trauma that I have been through, even with my teeth, I was scared to be on video because of my teeth. I had one of my teeth knocked out in a previous relationship, and then the other one, when I got really, really sick, they became brittle, and I was like, I can't get on. I can get on with the way they are. Now, of course, I'm gonna deal with it. I keep saying that, right? I'm gonna deal with it. But for a long time, I was scared. And then being scared to go to the dentist. I hate the dentist. But the truth is, I was scared. And to deal with my teeth meant I had to relive really horrible moments. And I just didn't want to deal with it because it brought back memories, hurtful, painful memories, right? Okay, so I had to acknowledge that fear. I didn't want to deal the fear of having to deal with a painful memory. The fear of the dentist. Why? And then I had problems setting boundaries. That's another very transparent moment, right? My fear of setting boundaries. So I was scared that if I set boundaries, people would actually not want to. This, my grandson just walked in. That if I set boundaries, people would actually discard me and reject me. So I let people run all over me because I was scared of being by myself. I was scared that people wouldn't love me if I spoke up and set boundaries, right? So that's fear. Acknowledging that fear. Be like, I have problems setting healthy boundaries. Why do you have problems setting healthy boundaries? What are you scared of? Huh? What are you scared of? Think about that for a moment. So anyway, acknowledge that fear. This is big. You have to acknowledge your fear. So today, I want you to make it be intentional about not ignoring your fears. Be intentional about acknowledging your fears. All right? Fear will cause you to pretend to be somebody you are not. You don't want that. And it'll cause you to pretend because you pretend the fear ain't there. And it is. So we do have to acknowledge our fear. They affect us. They affect us every day. They affect every part of our lives. So we have to acknowledge fear. Now, how do we acknowledge it? Write your fears down. Somebody said the other day, just do it. Yeah, that is true. Just do it. But you got to go through a step. Write your fears down. Write your fears down on a piece of paper. Because writing your fears down, it doesn't only acknowledge the fact that you have fear. It doesn't just acknowledge it, but it brings those fears to light. And it makes you, when something is in light, you're making sure you're dealing with those fears like, oh, okay. The reason I'm scared to go here is because you've dealt with it. And challenge yourself to it. It gives you an opportunity to challenge yourself to it, right? It externalizes. So when you bring your fears to light, it takes fear from the dark and lurking in places you don't know where it is controlling and making your decisions. When you bring it to light, you'll see like, oh my God, I see where fear was making my decisions. And I'm going to deal with that. Because a lot of times we don't realize how fear is making our decisions, how it makes our choices. It rules our day. Especially fears that's debilitating, I'm telling you. So you're getting it outside of you. And now you can deal with it. Because I'm dealing with it. So for the next 7 days, I'm going to encourage you to go through, as you're going through your day, and you see that there's some unproductive ways, there's things you're dealing with, the things that you're dealing with, or how you handle certain situations. I'm going to encourage you to write down, just take a moment and write down when you see fear is that fueling factor. Fear is fueling a decision. I want you to write that down. Then I want you to feel it for a minute. Allow yourself to feel the fear. Don't let it rule you. Feel it. I had to feel the fear of getting on the camera. I had to feel it. Like, okay, I'm scared. Athena, what was you scared of? Well, everybody's looking at me. Listen, if for a person where shame and humiliation was one of my core wounds, and being scared to be criticized and all of that, can you imagine how hard it was for me to get on camera? Okay? So I had to feel the fear. Write down what I was scared of. Now, what am I scared of? I'm scared of this, and this. Well, guess what? Everybody who gets on camera, somebody gonna say something about everybody's not gonna like you. Everybody's not gonna like the way you look. Somebody ain't gonna like my hair. Somebody ain't gonna like my bracelet. Somebody's not gonna like something. oh, she should do this and she should do. It don't matter. Bring yourself in excellence. That means bring your best self to the table and show up. But when you realize, like, okay, I can't get on camera. What's stopping me? Write it down and feel it for a moment. Like, it's okay to be scared, but it's not okay not to move forward. Today, what I want you to do in these next 7 days, that thing that you're not showing up to, write your fears down. That fear that you're still look and say, God, I am in a horrible relationship. My relationship is not singing to me at all. Or I know I'm the horrible one in my relationship. I know I'm controlling, but why am I controlling? Why do I have this need to control everything, to control the outcomes, to manipulate? Because with controlling comes a lot of manipulation, right? Or ignoring other people's needs. Why do I ignore their needs? What am I scared of if I actually take the time to show up in my relationships, not controlling them, but allowing people to be who they are? What am I scared of? What am I scared of? Why am I the negative one? Why am I so negative to people? Why am I the Debbie Downer? You know if you the Debbie Downer. Trust me. But why am I her? Why? Why am I the victim all the time? This person did this to me, and the world is full of who did you wrong. And most victims, you've done people wrong too. So, what are your fears? Why don't you allow yourself to be free in that area? For some people, their trauma is their life. That is how they live their life. It's telling people, I've been through something, so people can feel sorry for them. Because they really don't feel like they can have anything without people feeling sorry for them. That's just the life. That's their dysfunctional norm. A fear is the ruling factor. It is making your choice to be the victim. It is making your choice to be controlling. It is making your choice to be negative. It is making a fear. It makes people beat their kids. Fear. Fear. I'm going to beat you. You're not going to never stop this. You're not going to. Fear makes you criticize people. Fear. Fear makes you micromanage. You can't give people, you say you have to be everything to every, no. I'm going to trust people. The fear, because a lot of times you've been hurt and people didn't show up and you don't trust it. But the truth of the matter is that you have to deal with that fear, right? So deal with those fears. Write them down. Do you feel being broke? What do I fear about being broke? What's going to happen if you lose everything today? That could very well happen. What's the worst that can happen? Because just like you got it now, you can get it again. It's just a mindset. You know, if you don't have a poverty mindset, then you don't have a poverty mindset. You lose and you get again. It can happen again. It may take work. It could be uncomfortable. But you'll get it again. So what are your fears there? And then here comes the part. Just do it. But once you've dealt with your fears, once you've wrote them down, once you've acknowledged them and you expose them, and that's, to be honest with you, that's where your self-affirmations come in. This is where to be dealing with your creator, finding out who you are. Then this is the thing. If your fear is going to back to school, and you 50 and you got to go back to school, or you 60 or you 40 and you're 30 and you got to go back to school, what are your fears of it? What's stopping you from doing something you really want to do? What's stopping you from creating your business or starting a business? When you have fears, I'm going to encourage you, talk to somebody. Say, I'm scared. So they can help you deal with those fears. And this is the thing, so they can keep you accountable to overcoming those fears. Get with somebody and let them help you. Acknowledge them. Tell somebody, tell healthy-minded people. Feel the fear. Acknowledge the fear. So expose it. Right? Bring it to light. Feel it. And do it anyway. Because The only way to overcome fear is to conquer it. It's just to do it. You don't have it. Listen, do you think the people around you that's doing something great are not scared? They are very scared. So I said, Athena, you just do this. You just like this so easy, honey. There was days I was shaking, sweating, like, woo. Now I sweat because it's just a moment to sweat. But I'm telling you, I was scared. But I did it scared. Do it scared. Do it afraid. The only way to overcome it is to do it afraid. If you know you need to disconnect from a relationship, that relationship is bringing you down, you look bad. Your children are paying the price for it. You're paying the price for it. Your happiness is being compromised. Make the decision to walk away for a while. Because you don't know how to set boundaries, like Miss Athena, set boundaries. Don't come to my house without calling. And when people do, stay in your room and watch TV. And look, and be okay with letting them hear the phone ring and you answer. Hello? Like, when I'm at your door, I'm like, you got to call first. I'm so sorry. I'm so tired. And I really don't feel like talking. But listen, don't let this get in the way of our friendship. I love you. But boo, you got to call first. Okay? It's okay. Do it. Do it scared. So, then prepare yourself for battle. When you are going to take on an adversary, you prepare yourself, you arm yourself, you have a battle plan, you train yourself. Do this in your battle against fear. Arm yourself and have a plan. Listen to me. My plan is to get out here and do what I gotta do. Is to get out here and do what I got. If I gotta walk away from something, I'm preparing a plan to do it. If I gotta show up, then I'm gonna show up in excellence, right? If I'm going to go for a career, I'm going to go for that career excellence. If I'm putting in for that promotion, I'm going to prepare for that. I'm not going to just put in for it knowing I'm not ready. So prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. The battle is in your mind. So prepare yourself. And even in all the preparation, that very thing you're scared of just may happen. 9 times, for most people, it may not. My daughter was talking to me. She put in for a position and she went for the position. She was excited about it. And she says, Mom, I'm not sure because I don't have this, this, and this, but I have this, this, and this. I'm like, sweetheart, there's other candidates and they very well may choose them. So what? Put in for it anyway. Put in for it anyway. The most they can say is no. That's the thing. It's not personal. That's their business. They're looking for a certain candidate. And when they find it, they'll hire them. But it doesn't mean you're not amazing at what you do. It just means they think they have a better fit in this candidate. And that's okay. That meant that door was not for you. That meant that your creator got something better for you. And we just have to be patient. But in the meantime, show up in excellence. So when you do show up, no matter how scared you are, prepare to win, right? So the next step is don't get caught up and worried about what might happen. Just like I told my daughter, don't get caught up and worrying. Get there, show up, give it all you got. And if they choose you, they choose you. If they don't, then they had another candidate. They chose somebody they felt was a better fit. Don't mean they're better than you. Just was a better fit for them. Their personality or whatever they have, however they sold themselves into the interview. Right? Okay. So, take your small steps. Take what you've learned today. Take your small steps in conquering your fears. And feel good about when you've taken that step to conquer your fear. Pat yourself on the back. Say, good job. I did that. I did that. I want you guys to get used, you queens, to get used to celebrating every little thing you do right. We as queens sometimes so busy doing and going, we don't take the time to say, I'm a darn good mother. I'm here every time my children need me. I am a good wife. I'm a good girlfriend. I have built this business, and although I may not have everything right, I did it. I'm doing it. If it's weight loss, if it's whatever it is, I ate good today. I ate good today, or I exercised today, or good job. The reason why we get so overcome with fear, and fear makes our choices, because a lot of times we don't take the time to pat ourselves on the back for our small accomplishments. Small accomplishments, those little things you do every day that you're showing up to every day. There was days I went to work, and when I was working, I said, ooh, good job, Athena, you got here. You didn't call off. God knows you didn't want to be here. Right? Or even doing the video. I know that I have to show up. That's what coaches do. Right? Especially emotional healing coach, where people live in, this is the most craziest time in our world right now. It's crazy. Why wouldn't I show up? Right? Why wouldn't I? As a coach, that's my responsibility, to my assignment, right? So celebrate your success. Every single thing you do, celebrate it, even the smallest thing. And use this feeling of success, of victory, to prepare yourself forward, and take the next step. Every little step, like, okay. I did it right today. I exercised today. Maybe you didn't eat right, but you exercised. Okay, so tomorrow I'm going to make sure I pull that donut off the shelf. I'm not eating that. And I'm going to exercise. Or maybe today I'm not walking out of a relationship, but I'm going to set boundaries. I'm just going to set one boundary, and I'm going to celebrate that success. I'm going to celebrate that, because that took everything in me to set a boundary. We don't know. For some people, setting boundaries is easy. For some of you guys, I didn't give in, so I wasn't a yes person today. I actually said no. I'm going to teach y'all how to say no. When I learned how to say no, oh, honey, Lord, have mercy, God. I'm telling you. So we're not going to allow fear anymore to keep us stuck. Not another day. You don't have to. You can be intentional about overcoming your fears. You can be intentional about overcoming your fears. You can live a faith-based life, and you have to be intentional. You have to be intentional. If you have faith, your faith is this small, you can still move a mountain. If your faith is this small, start planting seeds of faith in your life. One seed produces a whole tree of apples. Don't eat your seed by being fearful and you have nothing to offer. Plant your seeds of faith. Not of fear and failure, but of faith. You are enough. You are who God called you to be. You are. You are in everything He gave you. Every talent He gave you, the ability to fulfill it. If He gave you a vision, He gave you the ability to watch that thing manifest in your life. Some of you guys got to clear the trees so you can see the fireworks. Clear the trees so you can see the fireworks, and do what it is you were created to do. Live the life you were created to live. To be happy. To be happy. People who are full of fear and fear-driven are not happy people. Right? So I'm going to clear the trees. I'm going to get a clear vision about who I am, but I'm going to start taking small steps. How am I going to do that? I'm going to start dealing with my fears. I'm going to acknowledge it. I'm going to bring it to light. I'm going to write them down. And I'm going to intentionally overcome them. And I'm going to celebrate every small step as I get better at overcoming my fears. Every fear, I'm patting myself on the back. Like, whoa, I did that today. I did it. I did it. And y'all know what? I'm gonna be that person for you. When you overcome a fear and you need somebody to clap for you, because sometimes it don't hurt to get a little good job. Inbox me, Athena. I did this today. I stood up for myself today. I didn't give $100 to all my kids because they keep begging for money. I didn't. I told Boo we needed a break. And that's hard for me because a presence of a man says I'm somebody. So y'all, our next thing we're going to do, my next live is going to be the happy single queen. Embracing your singleness. And it's okay. I've had to do it. Athena, you're married. I was single for a long time. It wasn't until I embraced it. It wasn't until I had to walk away from some stuff. But it wasn't until I embraced it. Took a moment to really figure out what I wanted. Set new boundaries. Overcome a lot of fears of why I was this people pleaser. Overcome those fears. Was I able to say, okay, to be able to move forward in a relationship? I intentionally did it. I wrote a book out of while I was intentionally doing it. It's called Woman Up. Nice Girls Finish Last. Woman Up. Nice Girls Finish Last. So I wrote a book about it. That was a journey for me. So I understand it. I understand the weight. I understand having to clink, clink. I understand it. How Medea say clink, clink. I understand having to embrace purity. Right? And say, I'm cutting off. I'm not having sex. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. If I'm married, I really want the next person I connect with. Not just going to be my husband, but we're going to be in a very productive relationship. And yes, there's going to be, I knew, you've been in relationships for all your life, you know, with relationships people got flaws, right? But at least I'm not unhappy because I'm settling. I'm not unhappy because I'm letting people run over me. I'm not unhappy because I'm scared that I'm not enough. No. So I got a good handle on me. And boy, has it worked in my favor. Perfect? Nah. Work in my favor? It does. Because I know who I am. And I know whose I am. And I know his plan for me, my life, is to prosper me. To give me future and a hope. And if my life is not aligning to that, I'm off somewhere. Not that we won't struggle. Not that we won't come and have to deal with some lessons in life. So when I learned to embrace me as a single person, and that my worth wasn't tied to a relationship, and I'm going to tell y'all something. I'm going to say this really quickly. We're going to cover this in the thing I'm getting off here. Is that yes, it's okay to want companionship. It's okay to want to have a man in your life. There's nothing, you were made from a man. Therefore, you go long for one. But you don't have to long like that for one. You may want one, you don't have to long for one. So we're going to teach ourselves how to attract our kings. Because you can attract a king, sweetie. You ain't got to settle. And even in your king, even with his flaws and how to deal with it. But the truth is how to attract your king. How to be in the dating game. But also to embrace being single. Embrace yourself. Embrace your strength. Embrace your purpose. So that you can attract the right type of person in your life. So to be the single, happy queen. I'm single and I'm happy. I'm single and I'm okay. I know my other half is coming. But the truth is right now, I'm going to embrace my wholeness in my singleness right now. Embrace my creator. So when he comes, I'm ready for him. And because I've waited for God to prepare me, I know he prepared him for me. And how to, in your singleness, all the time you got to do what you need to do and become who you need to become. Without other people's permission, the only person's permission you need is God's, right? Okay, so we're going to talk about that. So the single happy queen, that is going to be my next live. Look out for that. And if you have any questions for me today, put them in the comments. Or inbox me for any questions you may have. Don't forget, I am here for you as an emotional healing coach. If you listen to this today and say, I really need to be held accountable to my emotional healing, it is time for me to get up, put my pride aside, and make some time available for me to deal with my emotional realm, to deal with these fears. I'm tired of fear ruling my day. I'm tired of fear making my choices. So I need you. Reach out to me, www.untitled www.athenathecoach. Sorry, you guys. Athenathecoach.com. www.athenathecoach.com. Reach out to me. Let me help you. Listen, you guys, thanks for watching, and you have a